welcome to another episode of Tech NITE. I'm your host, Drupi Wang, and joining me here this week we have Dr. Hector, Dr. Smarty, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. This week we'll be taking a look at the recent security breach in Orange Cloud Service. The security breach, which led to the leak of private celebrity photos, have begun to cast doubt on Orange's data protection. To this, however, some experts say that the breach was just an isolated incident and cloud computing services will likely continue to be widely used. Thankfully, to settle the issue, we have with us today two experts in the field of computing. Now, for all the folks at home, Dr. Hector, could you explain to us what exactly is cloud computing?
Cloud computing is basically where people are given access to a central pool of computing resources like servers, network, and storage.
So what is the difference between traditional computing methods and cloud computing?
Traditional computing is processed in individual computers, while the cloud computing imports the user's input through the internet access and processed in its server. It is shared and may be an all-in-one solution. It can be online storage or web application accessible across different operating systems. It allocates these resources according to consumers' demand, so it's scalable and more efficient than normal computing.
Recent studies have shown a remarkable increase in the use of cloud computing services provided by companies like Google and Orange. The ASEAN market alone has amazingly quadrupled in just the last 4 years alone. Dr. Smarty, could you shed some light on this trend for us?
So this trend, which we now see, may be caused by productivity increase enabled through cloud computing. For example, data can now be accessed from different platforms such as your smartphone and your computer anywhere. This service is also available across operating systems such as Linux and Android, giving us even greater accessibility.
Mr. Johnson, you've been personally affected by this security breach. Actually, we've managed to get a hold of one of the leaked photos, if you don't mind. Could you maybe tell us why you started using cloud storage and what are your opinions about it now?
Cloud lets you store and share files wherever you are. I used to think it was great because it was so flexible. They monitor what you use and how much you use. So there's some transparency between the users and the service providers. Though I don't think I will be using it anymore.
Despite the security breach, some experts still insist that it won't happen again in the future. Do both of you agree with this?
Yes, definitely. Sometimes, even in the system we use every day, we may find some problems. It doesn't mean we should throw the whole thing away. We will try to fix the problem and make it better. That's how it's always been. It's same with the cloud computing. But there are some problems we may need to address in the future. One of the main concerns is, as we have seen, the level of security. When you choose to store information in a cloud, essentially what you are doing is that you are passing it to the service provider for safekeeping. It's not actually stored in your device.
So what does this mean for consumers like you and me? What is the issue exactly?
Well, unfortunately, as a consumer, you will not have any control over the cloud security. This will be left to the service providers. However, it also means that you have a professional team of technicians to maintain the service around the clock.
There may also be some difficulties in switching between different providers, since they may use different incompatible software and applications. Moreover, as large data are stored in the cloud, the cloud service may be the likely target of cyber criminals. And although cloud provider claims they only give customers information to third parties, you can never be sure of what they are actually doing.
So, Mr. Johnson, after going through this ordeal, could you say you came out of this a wiser man?
Yeah, I think I did. I think we can take home learning point, like we should choose secure passwords and use proper encryption. As a consumer, we should develop good habits like backing up our files and keeping our antivirus updated.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you again, Dr. Hector, Dr. Smarty, and Mr. Johnson. This has been Drupi Wang, and join us again next time for another episode of Tech NITE.